Hey everyone, it's George back with a brand new episode of D-Runk Comics. Today was a new comic book day, or at least it was when I started filming this episode. So stay tuned after the intro to find out what I got. And I will be talking some spoilers, but I'll give you some proper warning so you can duck out if you need to. All right, be right back. All right, I'm back. Thanks for staying tuned through that amazing intro. Once again, thank you, Comic Head, for putting that together for me. It was very cool and it was very appreciated. All right, so we're gonna get right into it. So I'm gonna do something a little different this week. I'm gonna show all the books that I got first, and then I'll go into some spoilers on the ones that I read and give you my opinions on those that I read. All right, first one I got. This was actually last week's issue, but I wasn't able to make it to my LCS to pick it up. But here we got Flash number 69. And really cool image here, though. You can see the reflection of the Flash in the mirror, but he's so fast, he's moved on past the car and sped on past it, and the reflection is still in the mirror, which I think is really cool. A little bit of a faster than light reference, you know what I'm saying? So really cool. Haven't read this one yet. The last couple episodes of issues of this book, not so great in my opinion, so I'll get caught up, but it's not on my must-read list. So, cool book, or a cool cover at least. I'll let you know how the story reads when I finally get to it. The next one I got was Deathstroke number 43, and I have not been reading Deathstroke as of late, but this is a Clayton Crane cover on a Deathstroke book, so yeah, I picked it up. I thought it looked pretty cool, and Deathstroke gets a lot of really cool cover art, guys. I know sometimes cover art isn't it shouldn't be the only thing. You shouldn't be judging a book on its cover. That's the metaphor. All right. Next, we had Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Volume 3, Number 1, and this is drawn by Kevin Eastman, which I thought was really, really cool. So, yeah, didn't read it. I was getting ready to. Oh, hey, little dude. Hey, kitty. Oh, good boy. Look at this raccoon tail, huh? That's pretty cool. Good boy. So I was getting ready to read it. I get into the first page, and dude, there's so many bubble boxes to read on the very first page. I just wasn't feeling it. I'm sure it's awesome. I'll get into it, but yeah, I wasn't into it. I couldn't do it, so I had to get off of it. So, but the cover pulled me in. You get Kevin Eastman drawing his turtles, and you can really tell it's his art style, and then you get to see him drawing a Batman, which I thought was really fun too. So, check that one out. That's the cover B on that book. All right, now the next three here I did read, but we'll get into that in just a minute. I got Batman number 70, the B cover. That's right. I like my variants, man. I always, especially when they're cover price variants, like, and a lot of people like to rag on DC for, they just do a lot of great covers and their books aren't so hot. A lot of their books are pretty good, but at least a lot of their variants are cover price. Not all of them, but a good chunk of them, and some really cool looking covers are cover price. So I love that. Then I picked up Uncanny X-Men number 17, another book that I did read, and I'll talk about it as soon as I'm done showing these off here. And then I picked up Deceased number 1, not the one that I wanted. My LCS was sold out of it. I did order it just before filming here. 2 different variant covers of that on Midtown, and I also read this book as well. So, all right, guys, if you don't want to know what happens in these 3 books, this would be a good time to, join me for a quick toast. Catch me in the next episode. Now, if you don't care about spoilers, or if you read them too and you just want to know how I think about them, this is prime time, baby. It's me and you. Let's watch this shit. All right. First, Batman number 70. unless I'm mistaken, maybe it's just another dream, but I think Batman's out of his dream world here. Um, he is just tear-assing through this building, whooping the hell out of people, and he's very sure of himself right now. He's just full on like, I'm the goddamn Batman, punch. He's just messing people up right now. So, but which is cool, but it just sets up the next issue. That's all this book did, and kind of pointless in my opinion. It like you could have set up what's coming next in a couple of pages or panels, but they went the long route, which they love to do, and they basically it ends with him punking out Two-Face and telling Two-Face to shut up. He wants to talk to Harvey, and telling Harvey like, you tell Bane that me and Batman and me and Mad and me will be here with an army tomorrow. I'll wreck your shit. That's pretty much how it ends. And it's like, all right, well, you could go tell him now. And yeah, so I'm glad that they're done with the nightmare shit, but still, I feel like this is a book you could just drop into the paper shredder. You won't miss it. It's something that if I were to buy the collected edition, I would just flip through this part as I was getting to the meat of the story. And hopefully the follow up where he comes back to fight with Bane is really cool. But there's been a lot of build up to it, and it needs to be amazing. It needs to be one of the best reads I'd ever read in my entire life to give these other books a pass. So that's what we have on that one. Next, I'm going to talk about Uncanny X-Men number 17. Now, in the last episode, I keep calling them episodes, and I apologize for that. I have been drinking. All right, in the last issue, they pretty much allude to the fact that Wolfsbane is dead, and that's not cool. She ain't around no more. So, this goes. They're going to go to her funeral. Cyclops kind of guilting Wolverine into it, like, hey, buddy, you got to go. He's like, I'm more in my own way. And, he's sitting there. You know what he's doing? He's enjoying a McGolden Light at the bar. I guarantee you it's a McGolden Light because it's delicious. Anyways, this is not a sponsored video, by the way. Anyway, so, Wolverine eventually goes and gets dressed in a suit, but he doesn't go to the funeral. He goes and finds the people that killed Wolfsbane. And it was just like these four dudes, Wolfsbane was not in full Wolfsbane form. That's what hey, little dude. I'm sorry, I always get distracted when my cat comes up here. You're a good boy. All right, so Wolfsbane was like looking in her human form, and, they were attracted to her, and, they were hitting on her, and she didn't want anything to do with them. She thought they were creeps. So, but as they started to agitate her, the Wolfsbane, started to pop out a little bit. So, and, once they realized she was a mutant, they started to kick the hell out of her, and she held back. She did not, go full out Wolfsbane on these guys and mess them up. She stayed in her non-mutant form, really, and was killed for it, which kind of sucks. Like, she just wanted to be normal. And Wolverine tracks them down. He makes them pay, which is really cool. And the book ends on a really cool cliffhanger. Like, it's not like the biggest cliffhanger of all time, but it's got me like a little, So I'll check that out. I'm not going to spoil that cliffhanger for you because I don't know. It's kind of fun. But I'm not overhyping it. It's not the coolest shit ever. It's just, I enjoyed it. It made me go, I wonder what happens next. And then I moved on with my life. All right. Speaking of moving on with my life, Deceased, number 1. Now, I just got done watching a video where some people whose opinion I really respect said that this book is, I think they said it was a double dumpster fire. That was White Whale Comics. And White Whale Comics, I love his channel. He's a cool dude. But I disagreed. I actually really like the book, which is cool. People can disagree. There are a lot of books that I love, that other people hated, and vice versa. I hated it. Other people loved it. This is one that I really, really liked. So it starts with the Justice League is pretty much cornered Darkseid. Superman breaks his jaw, you know, and they describe it as a sound that's never been heard before. And, you know, they're like, hey, mate, you got to go. Get off our planet. And he's like, all right, peace. And turns out he captured Cyborg. Cyborg's back on Apocalypse. Desaad is there. They're messing with him. And it turns out, you know, Darkseid has half of the anti-life equation. Cyborg has the other half. Well, they drop it in there, and boom, there's the anti-life equation. And it's not what Darkseid wanted it to be at all. It basically turns you into a zombie, like a and you know they're like digging into their brain trying to get it out. And Darkseid jumps into the fire pit, goes Omega effect, and just obliterates the entire planet, which is kind of cool. So Apocalypse is gone. The planet Apocalypse in DC is gone. And this is not main continuity, but it's just I thought it was a fun story. So anyways, Cyborg jets back to Earth, and it uploads this zombie anti-life equation virus. It's spread via the internet, and it's a social media thing. So people are retweeting it and copying and pasting it into their feeds and Snapchatting it, and it just starts spreading. And by the end of this book, 600 million people have been affected by it. So the 600 million zombies are now on the earth. And once you're infected, like the first thing you do is you like repost it, which is kind of weird. But it was interesting. Like I kept reading it, and I wasn't rolling my eyes while I was reading it. While I'm describing it, it sounds worse now that I describe it, but I still enjoyed reading it. And they set it up, and this is a big spoiler on this one, guys. You know, you know, if you didn't want to know the spoiler, but at the end of this book, Batman becomes, you know, he gets infected. So it's spread through social media and through blood contact. So it's like a dual-edged virus or something. I don't know. It's crazy, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to the next issue and want to see what happens. You know, Superman was not affected by it yet. Lord help us all if he gets that shit, because he will be a tough one to bring down. But yeah, pretty cool book. I enjoyed it, at least. And you know, there's a lot of really cool covers. So the covers that I did not get to pick up, I'll just show it to you real quick. The ones that I'm gonna get off, that I just bought off of Midtown's website. The It cover that everyone, you know, that's the cover that everyone was going after. It's still, you know, like 10% less than cover price on Midtown right now, which is pretty cool. And then I also picked up this one, and that is, you know, an homage of the death of Superman. And I thought that was really cool. You know, I love my Superman shit, obviously, as you can tell by all this crap behind me. So, yeah, I thought that cover just looked really cool to me, and I had to get it. So, guys, that's really all I got. Just a few books for me today. You know, be interested to know what you read. You know, chat about it with me in the comments below. Most of y'all know, if you comment, I always comment back. And tell me what you thought about the books that you read this week. And if you read Deceased, let me know what you thought about it. Am I like the only dude that liked it? I can be that only dude. DC will sell one copy every month, and it'll be great. You know, they'll be making lots of money off of that. So, all right, guys, y'all have a good night. Stay classy, and remember, get your pets spayed or neutered.